All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get things started right here. About to get things started up once again. Pretend like that last stream, the test stream never happened. All right, everybody, let me know in the chat if you guys are ready to get this stream started. Let me know. Bunny time. I like that. Bunny time. I like that a lot. Mason Wrigley, Prince Stat Guy, Kawaii Life, Antonio, Cartoon Fan, Kelvin, your mom, Ivan Remix, Randall, Dorothy. I think that is about everybody I see currently in the chat. Welcome back into this stream. And live cam initiated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the live stream on Regularjosh1. How is everybody doing today? How you guys doing on this wonderful Friday? It's been a beautiful day today for me. Mainly because it's it's been kind of nice and sunny outside, but it's been cold. And apparently we're gonna have a warm-up, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so it was very interesting. Today I wasn't actually going to stream. Well, I was and then I wasn't. And the reason why I wasn't going to stream was because I actually was gonna head on over to Knott's Berry Farm. The plan was to head on over to Knott's Berry Farm for the day. I was going to do a just wanted to make sure things are. Just wanted to again. I just want to double check with everybody here. How is the audio and the quality of the footage in this stream? Just let me know. Of course, let me know. Just wanting to make sure. Of course, wanting to double check how things look. This is somewhat of a new setup. I have I have a new camera, essentially. I said that in the last previous stream that I did. Well, the test stream that I did. But, I have a new camera. It's a mirrorless camera. It's the Sony ZV-E10. And that's why I look different. Why the background is a little bit more blurry or something, which, it's a whole thing. But yeah, sounds clear and crisp. Awesome. Audio sounds good. Great. All right. Awesome. So yeah, I got a new camera. I mainly got the new camera because I wanted to, I wanted to essentially, upgrade because I have like another camera. Mason really says, I like the new camera. Thank you. Yeah, I love this camera too. I just got it on Tuesday. So it hasn't been a full week since I purchased this camera. So essentially the reason why I got this new camera is mainly because I wanted to start doing vlogs. Not on this channel. Okay, the vlogs are not for this channel. All right, I tried that a couple of times, didn't really work. So that's why I got like another channel for vlogs, the Bun Vlogger. And I might want to rename that channel. I might rename it to what am I trying to say? I might think about renaming the channel to like Regular Josh Adventures or Regular Josh Vlogs or something. I'm not 100% sure, but like I may want to like truly, because the Bun Vlogger, I don't know. It seems like a strange username, I guess. So like I don't know. I might end up changing the title there. But either way, I am essentially like wanting to kind of do more vlogs, and that's why I was gonna go to Knott's Berry Farm earlier today, because I wanted to do a vlog over there, and I wasn't necessarily able to do that, mainly because like I didn't really feel like driving in traffic. I did, I literally did not. I didn't like it was gonna take me about like roughly an hour to get there. And so because of that, it's like, yeah, You know, it's like I was already in traffic yesterday, doing a couple of things, and so I don't necessarily want to, I don't know. I just didn't. I just didn't want to sit in any traffic right now. Like with good traffic, in terms of no traffic at all, it takes me like at least maybe 30 minutes to get there. Your mom says, in quotes, the Bun Bun Vlogger. Yeah, yes, I know. Look, listen. I made that channel in like, I think I made it in 2016, and so I made it like a while ago, and that's why it's named the Bun Bun Vlogger, because I didn't have another title for it, and like I don't know, for whatever reason, like that was the only title I came up with at the time, and so now it's kind of like, well, I think it would make a little bit more sense to to title it, excuse me, but like I think it would make a little bit more sense to name it, Regularjosh1 Adventures or Regularjosh1 Vlogs or something. Virginia Lake, welcome to the stream. It is awesome seeing you, of course, as always in these streams. But yeah, so thanks for joining. I'm not sure if I've ever told you, Virginia Lake, but you might have seen it in the Mondo streams, or maybe actually I'm not quite sure, but I got a new camera. Essentially have a new camera, the Sony ZV-E10, and so I'm gonna be using that for my vlog channel, but also if you guys have noticed, I have been posting, like, well, not recently, I haven't posted in about like 3 weeks, but the last 2 videos I posted, it was essentially me filming on my phone. I was filming on my phone, basically, and excuse me, and I was kind of just like talking with you guys when it came to like the Coyote versus Acme stuff, right? And so now if I want to do those kinds of videos, I can use this camera. This camera is a much more higher quality, basically, obviously way more better quality than my phone is, you know what I mean? It has a better sensor for better pictures, better videos, and whatnot, which is why I got it. You know, I got it because I wanted to get like better photos as well, and I wanted to start doing, excuse me, I wanted to start doing, like, again, more vlogs at, like, say, Knott's Berry Farm or Disney. I did recently, again, I think that was about 3 weeks ago, I put up a Disney vlog on my other channel. In fact, for the hell of it, I think I'm gonna just like not name drop, what am I talking about? I'm gonna just drop the link to the channel. There we go. And that one actually surprisingly did very well. Like, well, it says 2 weeks ago, but I did it like 3 weeks ago, because I went to Disneyland like on the 10th of November. So that was like the very first day, copy, of like the Christmas stuff. Kawhi says it would be nice for Disney Replay to return. Disney Replay, I should know what that is, but for whatever reason it's not necessarily doing it's not really calculating in my brain. It's like, what is that? Virginia Lake says that's so awesome. It is, yeah. I mean, like, trust me, I freaking love this camera. I already took like some like photos of like, say, of like my backyard, of like some flowers and some stuff I have in the backyard, and the quality is amazing. And I've done a couple of like recordings of some video footage as well in 4K, because this camera can do 4K. It's just that when I'm doing a live stream, like, I think the highest it's able to do is like I think like 720, I believe, in terms of like quality. So that's kind of why things are the way they are, I think. I'm hoping the stream, however, though, is not like, I can't really tell. I might check that out on my phone very quick. But yeah, here is the link to my other vlog channel, and I did post a come on, trying to pin this thing. Come on. Good lord. Yeah, I'm trying to replace pin message, and there we go. Yeah. So that is the link to my yeah, you know what, it's fine. But that's the link to my other vlog channel, or my vlog channel, that I essentially am now starting to post on again. And yeah, I did a Disney post up there. Somebody actually asked, I think, who was the one? Yeah, Mason Wrigley says, "How did your Disney blog go?" It went pretty well, honestly. You know, like I recorded with another camera, and that was kind of like the main reason why I wanted to upgrade. Because when I was when I was recording with that camera, it wasn't really focusing all that well on my face, which sucked. So I had to kind of just like point the camera outward to other things and stuff, and also like uh the microphone on that camera is not really great. The microphone on this camera, which you're not hearing right now, you're hearing the microphone here, that one is way better on this camera than it was on the other camera, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, I guess you could say that's the situation there. But yeah, so the vlog did pretty well. I mean, like, surprisingly, it almost has about like 1,000 views, which for any of my other vlogs I've done, like in the span of a month, it's never gotten that, you know? So it's surprising how well it's done. So I hope to continue like posting on that channel. And speaking of, actually, tomorrow is, well, today, it actually started today, but is LA Comic-Con, right? And so I recently just found out about that, right? I just found about it earlier this morning that LA Comic-Con is going on. And I think tickets are still available. And if tickets are available still for that, I'm going to go tomorrow. Mainly because, oh no, shoot, that sucks. I'll reply to him later. But it has had to do about like Alex and the situation that's going on with his like credit card and stuff. Not gonna get into it, but either way, but yeah, but tomorrow is if the tickets are still available, at least for tomorrow, I'm definitely gonna go. I wanted to go on Sunday because they have Tom Kenny and Roger Bombas, you know, the voice actors of Squidward and SpongeBob. They're going to be there on Sunday doing like a Q&A panel, and they're gonna also do like meet and greets and whatnot. I wish I could go on Sunday, but there's like way more things that I want to do tomorrow. And so I am planning on going to the LA Comic-Con tomorrow. And so if that does happen to happen, I am going to be vlogging that. And that's going to be very, very exciting. And so of course with the new camera that I have as well, like that's going to be really exciting too, to vlog that. And that's, yeah. Virginia Lake says, looking forward to a Disneyland vlog with your new camera. Oh, absolutely. Trust, when there's a couple of things I would potentially like to get before I happen to do a vlog at Disneyland. Like something I would love to get is a gimbal for this camera, so I could get like some smooth shots and some cinematic shots of Disneyland. I would love to do that, you know? And so it's a possibility, and I'm not sure. We'll see. But that really does depend. That really depends. Yeah, but that's kind of the whole, that's the whole situation of what's going on. Essentially, that's why I got a new camera, which is great for live streams because it has better quality as well. And so and so that's kind of just the whole situation that's going on. I'm wanting to do way more I'm wanting to do like way more vlogs on my other channel, but I also want to do like more content on this channel as well. And also, actually, let me read this comment from your mom, because it kind of, I guess it kind of like, you know, kind of coincides with what I'm talking about right now. So he says, so about the face cam videos, are the normal videos with you talking over your avatar still going to be around, or are those videos going to be the new style from now on? I still plan on doing videos with my avatar, mainly because like there's times when I do still want the videos to be scripted, right? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not really the greatest at making videos where I'm just talking my thoughts, you know? I've gotten better. I've certainly gotten better. But there's just times when it's a little better for me to kind of just script them. Because at the very least, I know how long the video is going to be. It's going to be most likely around like 5 minutes or so. And usually I would like my videos to be around 5 minutes. if it's pushing about to about 10 minutes or whatever, that's fine, but like I kind of want to keep it somewhat on the short side. So that's kind of why I kind of do it the way I do in terms of like editing. And also like it kind of, I do like those kinds of videos, if that makes sense. And sometimes it's a little easier for me. I know how weird that's gonna sound, but sometimes it's a little easier for me to kind of just write a script, read it, and then send it off to Alex so he can edit, and we have a good day. um and usually, like, when I make, and that's the other thing I do want to mention when it comes to like the face cam videos. The reason why I kind of did those was because like I wanted to get a video out as fast as possible. When the news came out that Coyote versus Acme was going to be written off for tax purposes, I wanted to get that video out as quickly as possible. I wanted to air out my thoughts, because when I found out about it, I was very upset. And so I basically was like, okay, you know what? I need to talk about this, and I want to post this and update you guys as quickly as possible. So I put my camera up, or my phone up, recorded, and essentially kind of edited the video and released it the same day. So that's kind of, I guess that would be somewhat the purpose of face cam videos. Like if there's certain kind of news pieces about, like, say, animation or whatever, where it's something I kind of want to get out very quickly, then that's kind of what I'm gonna do. Or if there's a situation where, say, Alex is not able to edit, right, and I do want to create a video, I'll just put up this camera and record and basically create a video for you guys, so I kind of have, like, now I have, like, more of an ability to post more videos and such. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna start posting more frequently, which I would like to get back to, but my life has been, I don't want to say it's been hectic, but it's kind of been somewhat unpredictable, right? Like I did Maggie's Market, we did like a filming of that, like, basically about a month ago. Well, a little over a month ago, so that took like an entire week, so I couldn't post a video at all because I was way busy with that. And then last week, for Thanksgiving, this current week actually, Thanksgiving week, I wasn't able to really record any videos either, because not that I really had anything to talk about. I did want to do like a live stream at the time as well, but I had family coming over, right? And so, because unfortunately, I had another loss in the family, and so they came down, and so we, family got together, we went out and ate, and then the funeral service was on Tuesday. I unfortunately wasn't able to make that, which really sucked, but yeah, that's why family was basically down here, because of a funeral service of another family member. So yeah, it's been a heck of a month in good ways, and I wouldn't even say in a bad way, but November has certainly been very eventful in a lot of ways. And so it's been interesting. It's certainly been interesting. But yeah, but that's kind of why, like, I haven't necessarily been posting a lot of videos recently, at least like the past couple of weeks, because it's just been, I've been a little bit too, like, busy with certain things, you know what I mean? So it's been very interesting. So that's kind of why, like, it's why I've been doing a lot more streams, because I just feel bad about, like, going a couple of weeks or a few weeks without, like, really posting anything for you guys, and just kind of leaving you guys hanging. So that's why I'm doing a lot more streams, and also just streaming with you guys and chatting with everybody. It's a lot of fun, you know what I mean? And so trust me, like, it's not necessarily a situation where it's like, oh, I haven't posted, man, I gotta stream. No, like, I'm always kind of having like a live stream at the back of my head now. And so I wish I could, like, do more live streams where I'm fully talking about something, instead of just, hey, I'm here and I'm gonna talk with you guys about random stuff that you guys ask about, but I mean, it's all good, it's all good, trust me. So so it's a whole thing. But yeah, so that's kind of been like the whole situation of everything. Let me just double check something. I'm trying to see the quality of the stream, because if the highest quality on the stream is still at 360, that kind of sucks, because, like, I didn't I didn't necessarily want it to be low quality though, but I'm trying to just check on my phone, which is kind of a good thing of being able to have like a camera now, like a good quality camera to stream on. Even though I could have done it on the webcam, but I know the kind of quality I'm getting there. So, um, yeah, but let me just double check. Okay, now it looks like it's the highest 480p. Oh no, it is. So you can do 1080p on this. Okay, good. Just making sure. Yeah, it would be cool to do like somebody was bringing it up in the chat, but it would be cool to do like 4K live streams. I'm not even sure if you can do 4K live streams yet on YouTube. I'm not sure, or can you? I don't know. I haven't seen anybody doing a 4K live stream. But yeah, it really I don't know, but it's a whole thing. Kawhi says, yeah, hopefully things go well on you this month, Josh, especially that it's getting close to the holidays. Yeah. Again, like it's for November wasn't bad. It's just, it kind of it did suck that I had the the loss in the family, which actually it happened it happened. When did it happen? It happened the week of when I was doing filming for Maggie's Market, and that because I was there, like getting ready to film for the day, and I was about to like change into my costume, and I got a call from one of my family members. I think she's my aunt. Sometimes I don't fully know about like all the family dynamics, and I don't always call her auntie or whatever. So it's, but I got a call from her, and she mentioned, that he died. He was one of my uncles, and and that was kind of a bummer. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, and it did hurt. Like we all are dearly gonna miss him. But it's I had to keep my head strong, obviously, because I was filming that day and whatnot, so it was a whole thing. But but either way, besides that, and also, family members coming down for the funeral, it wasn't, I can't say that like November was tough or anything, you know what I mean? Even though, like, and even then, like that Saturday, the 19th, I was thinking that was going to be a rough day for me because that was the day a year ago. It was like November 19th was the first anniversary of the other family member that we lost. And the reason why I'm keeping this vague is only because of like, I don't know, for me it's kind of like a whole privacy situation. It's like I don't necessarily want to mention who I particularly lost. I mean, I know I mentioned my uncle lost, but I don't want to mention the other person for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. I mentioned it on my other social medias, but I'm kind of like, for whatever reason on YouTube, I want to keep that private. It's weird. I don't know why, like, I think I've seen like some other like YouTubers where they mention like a family member lost, and some people kind of use that against them, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that. So knowing that you wouldn't do it, but at the same time, I did have a streamer last time I did a live stream kind of troll me, and it was a whole situation. So, but it's a whole thing. But yeah, November 19th was the anniversary of her death, and so I was thinking when it came to last weekend that it was going to be like a rough day, but I was with family, and we were, celebrating obviously like the life of the uncle, and my uncle and their family member, of course. They were to the person that called me about it, like that was her father, right? And so we were basically on the 19th when we kind of gathered. We kind of celebrated, and essentially in a way we celebrated both of their lives, because they were also brother and sister as well, which is how he's my uncle, obviously. So yeah, so yeah, but either way, we did kind of gather as a family, and we kind of, ate like one of his favorite meals, which was like a chili dog or a hot dog or something. And it was good for me because at the very least I was with people, and so with people, of course, that I love, and I wasn't, you know, I wasn't alone on that day. I guess that the thing is, like, on that day, I didn't necessarily want to be alone because I knew that was like the 1 year anniversary of her death, and that was gonna be like, ugh. I don't know how I was gonna be able to handle that, but thankfully, again, I had people that I was with, and I was essentially, I was good. I was good. It was a much easier day, and it was great. So yeah, but either way though, like, November for the most part was a pretty good month, and I was able to do a lot of stuff. I celebrated my god sister's birthday. We were able to hang out a couple of times that month. I did again also went to Disneyland on the 10th, which was the very first day of their Christmas season, and that was incredible. I would love to go back very, very soon. And Thanksgiving, while I was by myself for Thanksgiving, unfortunately, I was a little sick that day, so I couldn't really hang out with any other family members that day. But it was fine. I felt better a little later throughout the day, and was able to still get me something to eat. And I made me a very, very good New York strip steak that day. That was kind of like a very last minute Thanksgiving meal. So it was still good, you know what I mean? It was still good. So it was a whole situation. But either way, yeah, November has been fairly good for me, and I think December is also going to be a good year. I mean, a good month. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that I am planning on doing. I want to go back to Disneyland for their Christmas season. I want to go back to Knott's Berry Farm again for their Christmas season. There's a lot of shows that I want to see this month as well. And so there's just like a lot of things that I just really, really want to do. And so that's kind of where I'm already planning like how my December is going to be. So yeah. So that's kind of like all the plans that's going on here. So some of that will be vlogged, and a lot of it's just going to be me enjoying myself with either a friend or just, doing things that I want to do for the end of this year. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Christmas though. Like, there's a couple of people I want to hang out with, but I'm not quite sure who I'm going to be with for Christmas. That's going to be interesting. So yeah, who knows? And wait, hold on a second. Let me double check something. Yeah, Sunday the 31st of December. Because I think I've only done it twice. The 31st, was I planning something for the 31st of January? I don't remember. Was I going to go somewhere? I don't know, because I just thought of it. It's like I want to do like a last day of 2023 stream. Because it's kind of just been things I've been doing. Like, it's been something I've done since what? 2020, maybe 2021? Did I start in 2021? I don't fully remember, but either way, I wanna continue doing like, oh, let's do a last day of 2020 this stream. You know what I mean? I kind of want to continue doing that. So I don't think I'm busy on the 31st. I'm not sure if I was planning on anything on the 31st. So either way, I will most likely do a live stream during that. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that is about it for talking about my personal life. So, I'm gonna go ahead and actually, before I continue with anything, let me know in the comments or in the chat, how was your Thanksgiving? Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? And also, what did you guys have to eat for Thanksgiving supper this year? I would like to know what you guys had. Again, for me, I made myself a very, very, and I mean very, very good steak. It was delicious. It was good. All right. I haven't made a good steak in a very, very long time. I think the last time I made steak before Thanksgiving of this year probably was earlier in 2022. And I get the good kind. I'm not getting any that's like, the stuff that you get at like regular grocery stores. No, I go to some bougie grocery store that actually has like a really good steak selection. You know what I mean? And that's where I get my steaks. And the one that I got last week was literally it's like $34 and whatnot. So it wasn't like it was too expensive or anything, but it was definitely very good. But that's where I go and get my steaks, because if I'm gonna pay my money to get steaks, I'm gonna get me a good ass steak. Let me make that very clear. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me see. So Dorothy says my Thanksgiving was great. Awesome. Sweet. I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. Kawhi says my Thanksgiving was good. I had chicken and fries instead of turkey and some pecan pie for dessert. Ooh, that sounds so good. That sounds really good. Something I wish I got was a key lime pie. I wish I got key lime pie for dessert, because I used to get key lime pie all the time for like Christmas or Thanksgiving feast. We used to get it all the time. And I thought about getting it the last time, but I just didn't. Either I forgot about it or something. I don't know. But I really wish I got some key lime pie. It was so good all the time. Mason Wrigley says, for Thanksgiving, I had turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, macaroni cheese, and hash brown casserole. Now, that's all. That all sounds really good. I wanted to make myself some mashed potatoes this time around. Like, I went to the store to even get some mashed potatoes. Get some potatoes for mashed potatoes. But, like, I didn't necessarily get everything that I wanted, so I ended up just not making any mashed potatoes. I ended up like making me some roasted cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and carrots. Kind of like a vegetable medley, a roasted vegetable medley, and it was still very good. I still wish I had some mashed potatoes with it. I did make mashed potatoes, I think 2 years ago, and it was really, really good. I need to try my hand at making my own mac and cheese. I've literally never made my own mac and cheese. You think, for me being a cook, I should have made some mac and cheese before, but I never have. Besides Kraft's, that's the only mac and cheese I've ever made. But I wanna try my hand at actually making my own legit mac and cheese. So eventually, I don't know when, but at some point I will. Let's see what else. Your mom says, my Thanksgiving was pretty nice. We ate, watched TV, and hung out. We also ate the things you typically find: turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese. Nice. What I used to get at like Thanksgiving, I would used to get like the spiraled cut ham, and I think it would have like some sort of glaze on top. I remember every time when I was a kid and we would get that particular ham, I would always eat that up. It was so good every single time. Let's see. Is there anything else? Did anybody else mention? Skeptor Wolf says, I had a good Thanksgiving as well. Ham, mac and cheese, corn, and some turkey as well. It was delicious. Nice. So I get that it seems like most people had like either turkey and ham, some mashed potatoes, and some mac and cheese. Yeah, that is kind of like the typical excuse me, along with like dressing or stuffing, as some people call it. I think they're technically the same thing, and maybe they use some different kind of ingredients, I think. But that seems to be like the typical like fixings of a Thanksgiving meal. Another thing that I actually got was some cranberry sauce. Not the canned cranberry sauce. I can't do canned cranberry sauce anymore. Not that is bad, but just in 2021, when I did Thanksgiving, I wanted to make my own cranberry sauce. And when I saw like some YouTubers, because I follow like a lot of food YouTubers, right? Like people who food chef or chef YouTubers and whatnot, like Joshua Wiseman and whatnot, right? And when I saw how easy it was to make your own cranberry sauce, I said, I'm going to make my own cranberry sauce. I'm going to try it. So I did, and it was absolutely incredible. I'm like, I am never going back to using canned cranberry sauce again. That stuff's good, but making your own cranberry sauce at home, much better. It can't be beat. It's so easy. So, Charby says, the hell you mean you don't like cranberry sauce? No, it's not that I don't like the canned cranberry sauce. It's just I can't eat that stuff anymore. Just knowing how good I can make it myself. You know what I mean? I'm a cook, so trust me. I like getting simple things, you know, but at the same time, I also like trying to make my own stuff, you know? So, again, canned cranberry sauce, if somebody is serving it at, like, say, their Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, then yeah, obviously I'll eat it. I still like it. It's a classic, but at the same time, making your own cranberry sauce is just way better. It's way better. Trust me. Okay? And again, it's very, very easy to do. Oh, this sounds interesting. Kelvin says, I had a good Thanksgiving. My family and I had quesadillas stuffed with cheese. Nice. That sounds really good. I haven't had a good quesadilla in like a very long time. What was the last time? Oh, shoot. Might have been last year. I don't really tend to eat a lot of quesadillas anyway, but I think it was last year. There's like a taco shop that's nearby my house, and either it was last year, maybe early 2022, I think, yeah. But yeah, there was like a taco place that's nearby my house, and they have quesadillas, and I think I got me like a beef quesadilla over there, and that was so good. I never got it again though, because it's kind of more on the expensive side, I think, of what I can get over there, and you know, of course, I try to save money any chance I can. But either way, it was really, really, really good. I should get it again. Let's see. Skeptor Wolf says, learning how to cook from watching YouTube videos, I guess, seems simpler to do rather than watching the Food Network. I mean, yeah, you know, I haven't, speaking of Food Network, I haven't really checked out that channel in a long time, you know, but yeah, I've kind of been watching a lot more like, or when it comes to me, like making recipes, like I tend to go more towards like the YouTube cooking videos than on Food Network. Not that Food Network is bad or anything, but it's just, I don't know. I think sometimes when it comes to like some of these like YouTube cooks that you find, they tend to make like, say, dishes, or at the very least some of their videos, they tend to make dishes where like anybody could make them. You know what I mean? I'm more of a home cook, you know what I mean? Like I have worked in a couple of restaurants. But like I tend to usually find things that are fairly simple to make. I don't try to look for things that are like incredibly difficult to create, you know what I mean? So when it comes to that, like I kind of go to like, say, the likes of Josh Wiseman or Sam the Cooking Guy, or Nick Nick, I can't say his last name. Is it whatever his last name is? But I tend to, you know, go to like their channels, and like I'll usually kind of see like what they have, and if it's something that I, you know, think I can make, I'll basically watch their videos, take down their recipe, and, you know, go from there. Or sometimes I just find recipes online of things I want to make. You know what I mean? Like a good example was that I found like a copycat recipe on YouTube of the Taco Bell's like Crunchwrap Supreme, right? If you guys have ever had that, it's fairly good. It's decent. But I found like a copycat recipe of it on YouTube, right? And ever since I made it myself, I've never gotten the crunch wrap from Taco Bell ever again, because it's so much better when you make it at home. First of all, they give you like barely any meat. Like when you get a crunch wrap from Taco Bell, it's mainly lettuce, mainly tomato, and sour cream, right? Whereas if you make it at home, you can put in as much meat, like as much ground beef as you want, and it makes a big difference, and it's much bigger as well than what you get at Taco Bell. So I would recommend making that at home. I mean, I would recommend kind of making almost anything. You know what I mean? Like almost anything that you get at a fast food restaurant at home. Because usually when you make things at home, it's much better. So, I mean, especially if you're a good cook. So that's kind of, excuse me. That's kind of like how it's been going. So, yeah. Okay. Childbeater 101 says, "Have you made candy yams?" No, I've never made candy yams. I've tried homemade candy yams. From somebody that's somewhat related to the family, but not exactly. She's connected in some way. I don't think she's like I don't think she's exactly a relative, but she is a friend of somebody that is considered a relative in my family. And so she cooks a lot. And so last year when it came to like dealing with everything that happened around this year, or around that time of the year, she would often kind of, because I also had some family members to kind of help me out with everything. And so we would go over to her house sometimes, because she would also invite us down for dinner a lot, because she just loves cooking, and she's a really good cook. And she made candied yams, and I think that was probably the first time I had candied yams. Not quite sure, but it was really, really good. So I might want to try to replicate her recipe at some point. I don't know. Kawaii Life Antonio says homemade quesadillas are really good. I should try making that. There's a lot of stuff that I always want to try making at home, and I just kind of usually don't get around to doing it. Sometimes it's because I'm a little lazy, or sometimes I don't want to spend too much money at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Because I remember at the time when, like, it was like a few years ago, definitely before the pandemic, I used to be able to go to, like, say, Food for Less, and I could spend like maybe $20 or $30, and I would get like a good amount of food. Now, if I get the same amount of food, it's like close to $60. Inflation is insane. And so like now I'm a little bit like way too careful about like how much money I'm spending at the grocery stores now. It's crazy. It's man. Northwestern Railway 66 says, "Did I miss anything?" Somewhat yes and somewhat no. Like I haven't really answered too many questions. I haven't really officially started a Q&A just yet. We've mainly been talking about like Thanksgiving thus far. I've talked about like, I guess updates in my personal life, and I got a new camera for streaming. You may have noticed the different video quality in terms of the streaming. I got like a mirrorless camera, which is being used right now to stream on, and I'm doing like more I'm planning on doing more vlogs, which is why I got this camera, and also more photography too. So yeah, that's kind of you missed a couple of things, but you didn't miss too much, so you're good. Let's see. Virginia Lake says a home cooked meal is healthier as well. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Things can tend to be less greasier when you're cooking things at home. And also, you kind of control your salt intake as well. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how much salt they put in a lot of like foods that you get in these fast food places. You know what I mean? So it's definitely healthier. And also, it can be cheaper as well, because some of these places like McDonald's, they overcharge you for their food. Like almost $10 for a Big Mac. Come on. Really? I can make a Big Mac at home for less than $10. All right? Like shoot. I mean, trust me. When you start living on your own, and you're also like buying stuff for yourself now and whatnot, you start like really looking at things that way, and it's like, yeah, it's ridiculous how much they charge at McDonald's for stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, you can make way better burgers at home, or even get better burgers at other places that charge either less or sometimes a little more, but at the very least, it's kind of worth it because the quality's there. You know what I mean? So, it's crazy. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can technically start the Q&A session right now. So if there's like any questions that you guys have that you would like to ask in the chat, let me know. Yeah, let me know, because I know you guys are talking about a couple of things in the chat already, and since I'm a little bit out of the loop, since I've been talking a lot, not 100% sure what you guys are fully talking about in the chat. So, but either way, you can either let me know, or again, ask any questions that you have, and hopefully I can give you guys an answer. I'm not gonna be able to answer every single chat as per usual. But you know, I'll try my best. Let's see. Skeptor says, "Wow, that's pretty harsh for McDonald's." I mean, are you talking about in terms of like how much they price their foods, or I don't know? Because if you're talking about that, then yes, agreed. You know, like again, it's crazy how like expensive some of their food is, and it's like it's not worth it. It's like me personally, I think a Big Mac should only be about like what, $5. You know what I mean? Like, look, and I'm not saying this because I think that their food's bad. It's just like, it's not, you have like much higher quality stuff that correctly prices their food. Whereas McDonald's, you don't go there for quality. You go there to get a quick bite. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of why you go there, you know, and sometimes it hits the spot, right? Like, even going to like, say, In-N-Out, which is a California, like, it's mainly a West Coast restaurant, fast food joint. In-N-Out charges you a whole lot less for like a meal, but their food is like way better than what McDonald's is able to give you, like way better. Fries, maybe not necessarily, but in terms of the burgers, it's so good. You can't go wrong with In-N-Out. Let's see here. Scepter Wolf says, "Did you know that Disney has had a rough year? What are your thoughts?" Oh, trust me. In fact, you know what? Let me do something here. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you can understand. I know Disney has had a rough year because you take a look at how Wish is performing right now. Really. It's rough. It is very, very rough. Okay, just had to do that at least once because I got a zoom lens on this camera as well, and so but yeah, man, Disney, it's been very rough, which is very ironic. Well, maybe not necessarily ironic, but man, is it kind of rough for them because this is their 100th year. This was supposed to be like a huge celebratory year for them. And you had the strikes that kind of shut down everything for good reason, might I add. But also you had a bunch of their movies that came out that didn't really turn a profit. Like, they were a lot of box office bombs this year. I mean, not necessarily just for Disney's sake, but particularly for like Hollywood in general. There's been quite a bit, you know, of like fairly successful movies this year, but for a lot of them it wasn't really great. You know what I mean? That zoom in that you did was hilarious. You know, that's exactly why I did it. I did it because of a comedic effect. But yeah, it's definitely been a very, very rough year for Disney, especially since they were also doing a lot of cutbacks this year as well. And not just that, but like now you have Wish, right? That recently came out last week, and that hasn't been doing very well at all. And it's been I've heard so many people talking about Wish, and while you do have a lot of people who do like it, there's also a lot of people who are not a big fan of Wish at all. In fact, even looking at like a lot of people who are doing like reviews on YouTube, it's not getting great reviews at all. You know, and when I kind of see some of these reviews, it's like, yeah, I don't think this is a movie I'm gonna check out. Like, I just, and also, I do want to mention this as well, and it kind of says a lot. The previous week, Trolls 3, getting the band back together, or whatever that movie's called, came out, and I think they made around like $30 million at the box office. And mind you, that was a 3-day box office opening for Trolls, right? Wish came out on a Wednesday, and they had a 5-day, I wouldn't say a 5-day weekend, but a 5-day opening, right? And they made about like $35 million at the box office or something like that. So Trolls was able to make more money within 3 days. 3 days it took them to make $30 million at the box office, but for Wish, it took them 5 days to make $35 million. Really think about that. Which means that if Wish were to have opened on a Friday instead of a Wednesday, they would have made way less than Trolls 3. It's crazy. And what's even crazier is that apparently Trolls 3 is getting better reviews than Wish from both certain audiences and critics. What? I wasn't expecting, mind you, this is coming from someone who does not mind the Trolls movies, right? A lot of people don't like them. I personally don't find any harm in these movies. You know what I mean? I've enjoyed the first 2 movies, and so I probably would end up enjoying the third movie as well. But when you really think about the fact that Trolls has gotten better reviews than Disney's Wish, which is also, and I have to do this again. I'm sorry, but I have to do this again, okay? Wish is supposed to be Disney's celebration for their 100 years. It ain't doing it. It ain't working. It is not, ladies and gentlemen, it's not working out for them, okay? Like, let's really think about this for a second. It is seemingly a very, very lackluster film. This is supposed to be their, I guess, magnum opus, or maybe for like their 100th anniversary, and a lot of people, no. It's not necessarily, whoops, we're zooming in even more. There we go. It's not necessarily doing great for them. And it just seems to be very, very, very disappointing. There's some people that are even saying that it's Disney's worst animated film, which I hellishly doubt it is. But I think one of the reasons why people are saying that about Wish in particular is that it's just, they expected way more when it came to a movie that's supposed to be a huge celebration for their 100 years of being in business. And the crazy part about this is that a movie, supposedly, it didn't do a great job of celebrating the 100 years of Disney, yet a 8-minute short, Once Upon a Studio, was able to get that across 1,000,000 times better. Once Upon a Studio, it's a great short. I love that short. It's beautiful, beautifully animated, incredibly well done. You can tell that it was a paid a great homage to 100 years of Disney animation. But Wish, however, seems to do the complete opposite. And so it's oh man. Look, I haven't seen the movie yet. I have not seen the movie. I don't know if I'm gonna even see it when it comes out on Disney Plus. Truth be told, I was not really interested in Wish once the first trailer came out. Like, I was interested in it when they announced Wish, right? It seemed like it was gonna be a pretty good movie, especially when they mentioned that, oh, this is gonna be a movie that celebrates the 100 years of Disney animation, or just Disney in general. And so that got me excited. But then when the trailer came out, the very first trailer, I just lost interest. And it seems to happen so much with movies nowadays with me. Like, I get excited, and then I see the first trailer, and then I'm just, like, depleted. It's like, damn, that's just not what I was looking forward to. It's just completely, it's a shame. The only film, as of right now, that hasn't done that, well, technically, there's 2 films. One, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, right? That never, like, my interest for that movie never went down. I was excited from the very first trailer or the very first teaser that they posted. Went to see the movie, amazing, loved it, want to see it again. Great film. And the second one is Illumination's Migration movie. Migration, like, since the first teaser that they posted, I've been interested. And the other trailers that they've posted since then has gotten me even more interested in that film. You know what I mean? And it could be a generic film. You never know. It seems to be a story that we've seen before. Yada, 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 whatever. I don't necessarily care. Either way, it still has my interest. Right? I'm still looking at that particular film, and I'm like, yes, I can't wait to check that out. I have to see that in theaters. Right? Wish didn't do that for me. And also, I also see a lot of people talking about, like, say, the GOAT character Valentino. There's a few people that seem to like Valentino, and then there's a lot of people who are like, nah, why did you have to make him talk? And it's funny because when I did happen to look at like the trailer, right? And of course they were showing Valentino, you know, just as a regular animal side character. I thought that's all it was going to be, especially when you saw the picture, like the concept picture for Wish. It seemed like it was just going to be like a regular animal side character that you tend to see in some of the Disney classics, right? Kind of like Sven or Miko and the like, right? And so that's what I thought it was going to be. But then in the first trailer, he spoke. And he also has a very deep voice. And when I saw that, I was like, we're really doing this? Like when I heard him speak, like I was like, oh no, we're doing this. We're doing this, especially, and I think it was just, it caught me off guard that they gave him such a deep voice, and it's like, it just does not seem to work for me, like, at all. And apparently, he's the most unfunny character in the entire movie. Go figure. So whew, man, it's just a disappointment, man. Like, I hate hearing all of these bad reviews when it comes to this, because I was looking forward to it at first, but then it just got more and more disappointing as time goes on. And then the reviews came out, and a lot of people are talking about it, and it's like, yeah. So for Disney, it's not a great year for them, which again is a shame because this is their 100th anniversary. In fact, it was also Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary, as you guys know. And for both of these studios, it's been a mess. You know, like, you would think, and of course this had to do with the strikes and yada yada yada, because if it wasn't for the strikes, and I'm not trying to fault the strikes for anything, the strikes needed to happen, and I'm glad that they happened. In fact, with the actors' strike, we're not even fully sure if that's even gonna be fully, like, finished, because the actors that are in SAG-AFTRA right now, they are currently voting on the new contract, and a lot of people are actually not really happy with what's going to be in the contract. So there's a possibility that the actors could very well go back on strike. We don't know. We're not 100% sure until, like, I think the 5th of December when voting for the contract is finished. So yeah, which is insane, but hey, again, it is what it is. But yeah, but with these particular, like, studio anniversaries this year, you would think it would be like a giant celebration, but because of everything that was going on, they couldn't really do that. Now, Disney, for the most part, did a pretty good job with their celebration, but that was mainly at their theme parks, or at least with Disneyland. Disneyland got, like, the very first brunt of the 100th anniversary celebration, especially with their amazing fireworks show, Wondrous Journeys. I really hope they bring that back after the Christmas celebration. And that was about it for the most part. But, like, yeah, man, it's just been rough. And honestly, with Warner Brothers, if Warner Brothers never merged with this with Discovery, I think their 100th celebration probably would have been in much better shape. As it is right now with freaking David Zasloff, there's no way it was going to be a good celebration. Just absolutely no way. And speaking of David Zasloff, I was going to actually make a video this week regards to, like, Max and the removal of Looney Tunes, right? I was actually planning on making a video about that. But it was like very quickly, either the decision was reversed or it was truly an error, as they say. And, excuse me. And I was like, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't make a video about it, because then I would have to, it would have been interesting. But yeah, like Looney Tunes is not going to be taken off of Max. I was not happy when I heard that it was going to be taken off of Max, and thankfully it's not. But whew, it's, oh man, it's freaking insane. Just yeah, Warner Brothers Discovery has just been in a huge freaking mess, and like, oh. Man, the dude needs to go. He needs to go. In fact, I wish that they could just disband Discovery and Warner Brothers altogether. I really wish they would. They have made nothing but stupid decisions ever since that merger formed, and it's, oh god, it's just insane to me. Virginia Lake says Mondo was showing the upcoming 2024 Disney movies, and there wasn't really anything too exciting. Did he do that in a live stream, or did he do that in a video? And when did he do that, might I add? Because I don't think I caught that. So, but either way, like, I think I don't even know if there's really anything. Well, for one, they did delay a lot of films that was supposed to come out in 2024. Now it's not going to be coming out until 2025. Of course, again, because of all the things with the strikes and everything. So there wasn't a lot that they really could do until, except for pushing it back another year. But either way, though, like, I don't really know about a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, what is coming out in 2024 for Disney? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. That's a really good question. Your mom says that's just sad. Even for Disney, they should have just celebrated it with Once Upon a Studio. Honestly, they really should have. I agree. Like, the thing is, like, with Wish, it seems like it really could have been a good movie, because there were certain things that could have happened in the movie. Like, say, for instance, Star, for example, was supposed to be I guess a magical being, where it was like a guy, right, and a potential love interest in the film, and he was also like a shapeshifter. That would have been pretty interesting, right? And also the villain was gonna also have, like, it wasn't just gonna be King Magnifico that was gonna be the villain, or villain. I'm gonna put it in quotes because it doesn't necessarily sound like he's that much of a villain. You know what I mean? He gets corrupted by dark magic or something, and that's why he's gone crazy. And it's like, okay. But apparently, like, originally, what they were gonna do was him and his wife were going to be an evil couple. I have no idea why they decided to change that. That would have been a very interesting dynamic. We've never seen Disney do that before. An evil king and an evil queen? Come on, that would have been awesome. But no, they made King Magnifico the only guy that was the villain, except apparently he helps out people and he protects people. And it's like, what are you guys doing? It's just such a disappointment, man. I don't know what else to say, but it's crazy to me. Virginia Lake says it was a live stream. I believe it was Sunday. Speculation on Monday. It must have not have been the previous live stream he did, because I don't necessarily remember him talking about excuse me. I don't necessarily remember him talking about the 2024 movie. So that might have been like a while ago that he did that. Okay. Gillian says, let's hope for 2024 to have some form of redemption. I hope so, but to be honest, I don't have that much of, I mean, if you're talking about either Disney or Hollywood in general, I can't say that I have really all that much hope that 2024 is going to be even better. You know, I just, unfortunately, I don't. Like, I would like to be hopeful for it, but just with the way things have been with, like, again, Hollywood in general and whatnot, and it's just, it's rough. So, I don't know. Like, I hate to think that negatively, but I don't know, man. I don't know what else to really say, but it's, yeah. Gillian says, blame the people who worked on Wish because they don't know. No, blame the people at the very top. Blame the executives, because there's a lot of executive meddling when it comes to these films. And so when it came to, excuse me, when it came to Wish in particular, there was a lot of meddling in terms of the executives and what they wanted to do and whatnot. And so that's why things turned out the way that they did. And so blame them. Blame them. Don't blame the writers, don't blame the animators or anything like that. They all had to do what they needed to do. Oh, and also another thing to mention when it came to Wish, apparently that film was supposed to be in 2D. But it wasn't in 2D because it was too difficult to make this movie in 2D. Disney, really? It was gotta do this again. Sorry. Gotta do this again. Disney, too close. Yeah, definitely too damn close. But Disney, really? It was too difficult for you guys to make a 2D film. You think I believe that? You really think I believe that? It was too difficult for you guys to make a 2D animated film? Really? Okay, sure. Sure, it was too difficult for you guys. I am pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, so up is zoom in and down. I am still learning this camera, so I am not a pro at it just yet, but I am still making this camera. Child Beater says, what the F do you mean? Do you mean it was too hard to make? Right! Like, how was it too... Come on, guys. You did Once Upon a Studio. Like, it's oh god. Yes, I know Once Upon a Studio was a 8-minute short, but still, like, you can't give me that BS excuse. Like, seriously. Okay? And also, they keep saying, like, oh, well, with this movie, we made this movie look like it's a 2D animated film. Not really. No. And you can't give us, like, that excuse that, like, oh, well, the backgrounds are watercolor paints and yada, yada, yada. It still doesn't really work, okay? I'm not going to say the animation in this new movie looks bad, but it doesn't look great, all right? You should have went full out and said, we're going to do a 2D animated film, and if you decided, nah, we can't do 2D animation, it's too hard for us, we're going to continue doing our CGI stuff, then just make it a fully CGI animated film. Instead of, oh, we're going to make a CGI animated film, but we're going to also make it look 2D. Like, just don't do that. But you did, and yeah, you screwed it up. Also, can I also mention something else? This might be the last thing I mention when it comes to Wish, but their songs. I haven't heard every single song when it came to this movie, but just from what I was able to hear when it came to Wish's songs, they're not great. They're not terrible. Some of them are a little catchy, but there's just certain things about their songs that are just so off. And it is a strange decision specifically for this movie to not use any musical theater songwriters. They went with pop artists or people who have created pop songs. Why? That just doesn't... I don't know. If I can continue complaining about this movie or this company anymore, I'm going to give myself a migraine, all right? So it's a shame because, like, I love Disney, you know what I mean? That's why I'm so somewhat passionate about, like, you know, like, or why I criticize them so much, because I know how well they can do, but then they just continue to give us such mediocre stuff, you know? But, like, it's crazy, man. I mean, it is such a, like, difficult, it's such a love-hate relationship. There's things that Disney does that's great, but then there's a lot of things they've been doing recently where it just boggles the mind, you know? It's insane. Your mom says if the real Disney were alive today, he would think that his own company has become an absolute joke. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, it's just crazy. I think, yeah. I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't know. It's just nuts to me. It's just like, go back to being a good company again, please. It will help you guys in the long run, because now almost every single person hates Disney, or they love Disney but hate Disney at the same time. And then you have the crazies who just don't like Disney for literally insane reasons that I will not get into. Want to keep out of politics because I hate politics. All right. But it's and somebody else kind of mentioned something. Actually, first, quick. Kawaii Life Centennial says generic pop songs. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not a good idea, as majestic music is better fitting on how magical the films are to be fitting. Agreed. Like, it should not have been a pop song or, like, pop songs that they use in these films. It's like, come on now. That's just so stupid. But there was somebody else that mentioned something about, yeah, it was also Kawaii that says, so Josh, what do you think of Bob saying about quality over quantity if possible? I'll believe it when I see it. If this means that they're going to cut back exponentially on the amount of Star Wars content that they create on their Disney Plus app, or the amount of Marvels that they create, if it means that, then good, because it's too much Star Wars and Marvel. And, like, unless you're a Star Wars and Marvel fan, and even then, like, a lot of stuff that they've been coming out with hasn't really been, pleasing to a lot of people that are either Star Wars fans or Marvel fans. You know what I mean? So they kind of needed to cut back on that. But also, another thing, because they've been making so many shows and so many movies specifically for Disney Plus, they've been losing a lot of money because of that. So yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. At this point, I don't, because apparently Bob Iger's been saying that for a long time. Oh, we're going to do quality over quantity and yada, yada, yada. And a lot of people are like, I don't believe it. So that's kind of where I'm at as well. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it at this point. So yeah, man, it's, I don't know. It's just, it's been a whole crazy freaking thing. Virginia Lake says the Wish songs are horrible. They might make you want to sing them. Look, I have to say this again, okay? I do not hate the song How Far I'll Go, okay? It is a good song. It's just Disney has been overplaying it over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where I am sick and tired of that song. It's like Let It Go. Let It Go is not as bad in my personal opinion, but when it came to when they've played it over and over again, sometimes I get a little annoyed with hearing Let It Go. That's not a bad song, right? But I get tired hearing of it because they've played it and milked the crap out of that song over and over and over again. So it's the same with How Far I'll Go. Like, it's a good song. It is a good song, but I've just heard it like way too many freaking times, and I just can't stand it anymore. You know what I mean? But I do have to say, it is definitely a much better song than anything that you hear from Wish. Wish's songs, again, are just, there is something so off about them. In particular with, like, say, the lyrics. There were certain lyrics in the song You're a Star that personally pissed me off as a musical theater guy, right? Like, oh my God. There was a lyric, it's like, hey, you're a star. Look out, world, because here I are. Look out, world, because here I are. Really? You could have said, look out, world, because here we are. Or look out, world, because here you are. But you decided to say, look out, world, because here I are. Do I even need to say anything else? No, I'm not going to. That just I don't need to say anything else about that, okay? It's so stupid. Like, my God. And you know, and the other thing that I don't necessarily like when it comes to that as well, or well, not just that, but just like the lyrics in general with these songs, is that there's a lot of times where the lyrics don't rhythmically rhyme. You know what I mean? Like, the flow is just not good with some of these songs, where it feels like the first line of the melody is fine, but then in the second line, when they try to rhyme something, they add way too many words, and it's just an awkward flow with these songs. It's just so bad. Ugh. And then there was also something where in the song is like something allegory. Oh, I am so excitatory. Okay. Allegory, excitatory. Is that... Again, for me being a musical theater, I am not somebody that is like an expert at songwriting. Okay, I've done one song. I've only written one song 2 years ago. Or was it last year? No, it was last year. I've only written one song. But good Lord, okay? Like, it's just not... When I heard that, I was offended. I'm like, really? That's how you guys are gonna do... That's how you're gonna do this? Are you... Look out, world, because here I are. When I... Oh... Jesus Christ. That... How much did you get paid to write that lyric? Seriously. It's so stupid. It's incredibly stupid. Virginia Lake says at 3:70, 37 minutes and 50 seconds on Speculation Sunday on Monday is when Mondo starts discussing the Disney movies. Okay. So I'll probably check that out eventually. Yeah, Kawhi says, yeah, that's just poor writing right there. Absolutely. Skeptor Wolf says, was Disney trying to make rapping songs or something? Like, what the heck? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but oh God, I just, I don't know. I literally, I have no idea what to necessarily say though, but like, it was just a massive mistake on their part. Have these songs be on a Disney Channel movie? Whatever. You expect that from Disney Channel movies. But on a $200 million budgeted animated film for theaters, unacceptable. Sorry, but it is incredibly unacceptable for me. It just, truth be told, like, it's, no. Nope. No. Okay, so let's see here. Quiet Life says, I don't have good thoughts with the upcoming Toy Story movie. Why did we even need a fourth movie? And the fact that we're getting a fifth movie, that's ridiculous. Come on. We don't need a fifth movie. Like, that's so stupid. In my personal opinion, it's completely dumb to get a fourth movie. I mean, to get a fifth movie. Like, the trilogy was perfect. And then you screwed it up with the fourth movie. What on earth is the fifth movie even going to be about? And not only that, let's also bring this up. Why do we need 4 Frozen movies? Why? I mean, 2 movies, whatever. We needed to have a third movie, and now we're going to have a fourth movie. You've gotten to the point where almost everybody is sick and tired of the franchise. Because, again, you literally milked the ever-living crap out of Frozen, out of that franchise. You milked it so much that now everybody kind of groaned when you mentioned that you're having a fourth movie being worked on right now. Like, it's like, please, for the love of God, stop. Gee. Disney, I'm trying not to say that Disney's dead. I don't think Disney is dead. Are they dying? Yes. It's a rough time for Disney right now. Will they eventually get back to being a great company? I think so. This isn't the first time they've had like a downward slope. It's happened, I think, like somewhere around the 80s, or believe, like when it came to them putting out movies, they weren't really doing well. They weren't good at all and whatnot. But it slowly, it kind of just went back up for them, and they got better. And now it's kind of just going down a little bit. So it might get better in the span of a couple of years. Who knows at this point? But as of right now, it's just, I don't know. Like at this point right now, it's just, it's not great. It's not great. That's the most I can say. But yeah, we don't need a fourth Frozen movie, and we definitely do not need a fifth Toy Story. Not at all. I am totally fine with Zootopia getting a second movie. Totally fine with that. They haven't milked Zootopia at all, okay? But Toy Story and Frozen, let those franchises go, please. Enough. Like, just let them go. We don't need them anymore. All right? They're great. Frozen, more or less. Toy Story, especially for the first 3 movies, great. But please just let them rest in peace. That's all I'm saying. Just let them just let them go. Okay? Do not turn them into another Fairly Odd Parents. We don't need another situation like that. Okay? I don't think it's gonna get as bad as Fairly Odd Parents, but we already know what happened with Fairly Odd Parents. Stop it. Okay. Ooh, it's 6:18, and we've been live for about almost 90 minutes. All right. I might be live for another 20-ish minutes or so. Not quite sure. I might, yeah, because I do want to eventually get myself something to eat, or, buy some groceries so I can make me something to eat eventually. So I might end it, not now. I'm not going to end it now, so don't worry, but maybe roughly 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll see. It really depends. All right, let's see here. Anything else? Kawhi says they better not do a 5th Frozen movie if the 4th one is the end of the story of the franchise. I really hope they don't. Again, I would ideally like for the 3rd movie to be the last one, but it sucks that we're already getting a 4th movie, or supposedly it's being worked on, but which is honestly kind of crazy, because apparently, the story is going to be so epic, we need to have a 2-parter. It's like, okay, sure, we need a 2-parter. How epic can a Frozen story get? Come on. Whatever. Let's see here. Kawhi says Disney needs to have its creativity again. Hopefully they can wake up. I hope so. I certainly hope so, because you also got Bob Iger talking about, like, we're gonna, again, he mentions, like, the whole quality over quantity kind of situation. And also, I think, like, he also mentioned something about, like, we need to go back to being a great storytelling, and we need to have less messages in our films, and whatever, something like that. I don't know, but what the heck am I getting? Is that? Just double check. Oh, just something about, okay. Nothing important. But, yeah, but, like, I'll believe it when I see it, but, like, I would like for things to get back on track when it comes to Disney. I think the best they're doing as of right now is with their theme parks, specifically. Like, I think that's where, like, their strong suit is currently. Especially, and it kind of shows in terms of how much the theme parks are actually what's making them the most amount of profit right now, right? Because every time you go to Disneyland or even in Disney World, right, it's always packed. Like, Disneyland definitely does not have an off season anymore. There's days where it's less busy, but that's not saying much, okay? Like, it's not like, say, Knott's Berry Farm, where if I go on a weekend, if I go, like, say, on a Wednesday and kids are in school, I don't necessarily, if I'm, like, in school, if kids are in school, it's going to be fairly empty in there. You know what I mean? There's still going to be a good amount of people, but at the same time, it's not incredibly busy there. And it's bliss, you know, like a lot of times the rides do not have any wait times, or it has like very short wait times. Because trust me, when Knott's Berry Farm gets freaking busy, they get busy, and they're not the greatest at like ride operations there either. So, it's, excuse me. So sometimes like the lines can get like way out of hand, you know, and sometimes I go to Knott's Berry Farm and I don't even get on any rides at all. So I'll just like either eat some food, because they do have good food there, and whatnot. But either way, what I was mentioning though still was, yeah, theme parks do very, very good. And again, with Disney, they are not, they don't really have any off days. Again, there's some days where it's not as busy as others, but usually they're very, very busy. They're crowded, even with reservations, because you do have to make reservations in order to go to Disney now. But that's kind of where the moneymaker is. They're almost constantly busy, you know? And so they should really focus more on their theme parks. Or no, if anything, they're doing pretty well with their theme parks, you know what I mean? It's just their movies are kind of lacking. And you know what? They're kind of doing pretty well with like their TV shows, at least like say on Disney Channel. Because again, I've been finding myself watching Disney Channel way, way more than say Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. I still watch Nickelodeon a bit as well, but when it comes to Cartoon Network, I almost do not watch them at all anymore. It's kind of why I haven't really been talking about Cartoon Network recently. There's kind of just been not much of a reason to kind of talk about them. And when I do kind of talk about Cartoon Network, sometimes it's a little exhausting, you know, because it's like, how many times can I talk about, I don't want to say depressing news when it comes to the channel, but just more so, you know, unfortunately, there's not really a lot of great news that comes out of the channel anymore, you know? Yeah, there's been like some schedule updates, but like, I don't know if I necessarily want to talk too much about the schedule updates that they have right now. And then I might, it's very possible, but I don't know. I just haven't, with Cartoon Network, it's just been like, I just haven't been talking about them at all. And I kind of just have like little to no desire to talk about Cartoon Network anymore. It's, you know, unless there's been like some really good news that's come out, I might kind of go back to chatting about with them. But as of right now, it's not in the cards for me. It's just not in the cards like at all. I will say one thing, and I don't know if I'm going to do a review of the show at all, but I will say that the Valiant Prince Ivanhoe, I'm surprised at how much I'm actually enjoying this show. Because I think I made it known on like one of my videos where I've mentioned the Valiant Prince Ivanhoe, that when it came to like the shorts that they had on YouTube leading up to the series, I think the shorts were posted on like their UK page or something a while ago, and it just didn't hit well with me. I wasn't really a fan of those shorts, but now watching like the actual series, I'm legitimately enjoying it, which was surprising to me. You know, you know what I mean? I didn't expect to enjoy the show as much as I do. Like it's managed to make me laugh a couple of times. So, you know, like that's something I have been recording and checking out. Kwai says, Ivanhoe is pretty enjoyable so far. Agreed. Again, which was a surprise to me. I didn't think I was really going to like it, but I do. I've been coming back for all the episodes. So, you know, so for me, I'd say that's a win. That's definitely a win. Other than that, I don't really watch Cartoon Network like at all, you know, like it's more of the same thing, and it's just, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring to me. Blue the Sabertooth Rat says, I miss watching Cartoon Network. I hope they get better soon. I hope so too. I just don't foresee it happening as long as Warner Brothers Discovery is running the show. And then, you know what? Maybe I could be proven wrong. Who knows? But yeah, it's just, no, yeah. Kawhi Life says Cartoon Network is doing pretty all right, but losing 2 hours just hurts. It really does hurt, especially considering, like, now all of their premieres has to happen on a Saturday at 9 o'clock, which, I mean, they've been doing that for a while, so that's okay, but you can't have any primetime premieres at all, which just kind of hurts the channel, I think. And also, like, when it comes to movies, because they got Craig Before the Creek coming sometime next year, I think in January, you'd think that would be something that they would premiere at 6 o'clock, right? But no, they got to premiere that at 3 because they end at 5. And to me, that just seems so weird. A movie premiere at 3 o'clock? Like, what? Like, I don't know. Is it just me? It might just be me. I don't know, but I just find that to be very strange. But it is what it is. That's all they can really do as of right now. It sucks, but hey. Zach says Cartoon Network is still in their second dark age. Yeah, and again, this one seems to be one that's gonna last for quite some time. We'll see what happens next year. I hope that we get a good slew of new shows coming next year, but it really depends. You know what I mean? It's just, as of right now, things are just looking very grim to the point where I just don't want to talk about Cartoon Network anymore. That's why I'm not really making a lot of videos on Cartoon Network. I'm kind of done with them. Virginia Lake says Disneyland hasn't lost its magic despite the movies. 100% agree with that. Wondrous Journeys is incredible. 100% agree with that. Along with the Christmas fireworks and Seasons of Light. Again, 100% agree with you on that. Yes, like, especially Seasons of Light. Every single time I see that show, and when the finale comes up with that show, I always kind of just start choking up and crying. Like, it's just beautiful, And of course, also, like, it's a little bit more sentimental for me now because, considering that I wanted to share this show with, again, a family member that I lost last year. I wanted to share this with her, and especially when they have, like, the foam hearts kind of flowing up at the end of the show. Beautiful, and hearts were her favorite shape as well. We got, like, a lot of hearts around the house now, so, it's, she would have loved it, so that's kind of partially why when it comes to the finale, I kind of tear up a little bit, but like, it's just a very beautiful show, and I want to see it as many times as I can before it goes away. But yeah, Disneyland is still very magical, albeit incredibly expensive, but it's still a great time. I have yet to have a terrible time at Disneyland. Yeah, let's see. John Beater says, and kids don't come back until 3. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna premiere, I guess, the movies on a Saturday or something, because that's kind of all. That's the only time they can really do premieres now. They can't do a premiere during any time on the weekday because, again, kids are in school. And by the time kids get in school, they only have, like, maybe an hour and a half left of Cartoon Network to watch if they want to watch anything. And it's mainly just going to be Amazing What a Gumball. So, yeah, the whole situation is just so stupid. Kawhi Life says, yeah, primetime on Cartoon Network goes special, and now we can't even have that. Agreed. It's it's definitely a shame. Hold on for a quick. Ozzy also say, Josh, did you see the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade? I always see the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Even though I personally think the Rose Parade for New Year's is much better. But I do always check out the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. And the thing about it is, like, I do like seeing the balloons, except it does kind of suck to see some of the balloons deflated, but hey, they're balloons. That's just going to happen. When they get snagged on a tree, they're going to get cut and it's going to be deflated regardless. But the thing is that, like, especially watching it on NBC, right? What I don't like is the celebrity performances because they're always lip syncing, which I understand why it's lip synced, because when you're doing a parade, especially around this time of the year in New York City, it's basically winter season there. We're still in fall, but it gets really cold. It's not snowing just yet, but like it gets very cold in New York. So cold air, cold climates, not really the best environment for singing. Just straight up. But even so, like, they always do like the studio versions of these songs. And what I mean by that is if you say have John Legend singing like A Merry Little Christmas, and say he did like the studio version on like it's the version you hear on the radio, right? You hear his version on the radio. They're gonna end up just playing that version on the parade, and he lip syncs to that, and it's like it just annoys me. It's like, can you at least have like a different version where it doesn't seem like they're lip syncing? I don't know. I don't like seeing people lip singing when it comes to excuse me. I don't like it when they lip sync during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I always check it out. Again, I personally think that the Rose Parade is a better parade, but at the same time, I still like the Macy's Parade. I always check it out regardless. It kind of doesn't really even matter. Let's see. Skeptor Wolf says, Regularjosh1, did you know that Knott's Berry Farm's parent company, Cedar Fair, is planning to merge with Six Flags? Yes, of course I know about this because I'm like very deep into like the world of theme parks, and so I kind of keep up with a lot of it, specifically theme parks in California, of course. And it is kind of crazy, you know, but it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this. I hope when it comes to Knott's Berry Farm, not too much really changes with them. I hope not, you know, like it would be a little disappointing if like, you know, they do happen to change in terms of operations, and it would be kind of rough, you know, because Knott's Berry Farm is one of my favorite parks, you know. They do a couple of things better than Disney sometimes because they're kind of willing to put in the money, or at least they were. But yeah, it's a special park, so I hope like when this merger happens, like they keep things at a good place, if that makes sense. I hope they don't mess things up. So yeah, but I did hear about it. It's going to be very interesting. So who knows how things are going to be when it comes to it. It's going to be, I guess it'd be more interesting as well to see what does Six Flags look like from here, you know? Like, is Six Flags also going to have some changes? Are they going to implement a couple of things in terms of how, say, Cedar Fair happens to run their parks, or what? I have no idea what things are going to look like in the future, but it's definitely going to be very interesting. Skeptor Wolf says it'd be like the Peanuts gang hanging around the Looney Tunes. Nah, you know, I don't think that's gonna happen. I hear a lot of people like wondering, oh, is the Peanut gang gonna be next to Looney Tunes now? Are you gonna have the Looney Tunes at Knott's Berry Farm? I don't think they're gonna do that. I think, in my personal opinion, I think the way that it's going to happen is that while the parent companies are both going to merge, I think Knott's Cedar Fair parks are still going to stay fairly separate from Six Flag parks, right? I'm not going to you're not going to see Six Flags Knott's Berry Farm. You know, I doubt you're going to see that. If they do that, I'm going to be pissed off. But I don't think so. But, you know, like I don't think you're going to see like everything fully merge in that regard. Virginia Lake says Knott's has a very special charm, and hopefully they don't change that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope the charm that Knott's Berry Farm has right now, I really, really hope they keep it. Kawaii Live Antonio says, yeah, Knott's was more special to its charm compared to how extreme Six Flags can be. Fully agreed. Like, yeah, like, again, they really, really need to keep Knott's Berry Farm's charm because it's very special. Because if they screw that up, then the reputation that they've built over the past few years, where a lot more people are really loving Knott's Berry Farm and really appreciating it for the park that it is, like if they screw up anything, like in terms of, specifically in terms of the charm and whatnot, it's going to deplete so badly, and it's going to be a disappointment. I really hope that they don't screw things up. But yeah, I think in terms of like, say, the Six Flag run parks as of right now and the Cedar Fair run parks, they're going to keep those separate, and it's just going to be like the parent company, just going to be like, you know, merging. So And so I don't think you're going to start seeing Looney Tunes being implemented in Six Flags. And I don't think you're going to start seeing the Peanuts gang. Looney Tunes characters being in Knott's Berry Farm or Cedar Fair run parks. And I don't think you're going to see Peanuts gang being in Six Flags run parks. And also, I don't think you're going to see any DC superhero type of like IPs going into Knott's Berry Farm anytime soon. I highly doubt they're going to do that. So that's how I see this merger. And if it does, then, well, I don't know. I feel like I don't know necessarily what to say about that. That would just be strange. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Jordan says, oh, and the new Looney Tunes movie, Looney Tunes The Day That the Earth Blew Up, is happening. Yeah, I did see, I forgot if it was an article. It might have been an article, but I think they mentioned something about The Day the Earth Blew Up. And it's great to see that it's still happening. And so because it's been kind of rocky a little bit when it came to Warner Brothers Discovery and Looney Tunes for whatever reason. It's crazy, but I'm glad that film is still happening. Like if they were to have canceled that movie, that would have that would have pissed off so many people. Now, I don't know, I don't remember if that's going to be a theatrical release or is it going to be if it's going to be released on Max or something. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'm not really, I don't know. I don't remember if they mentioned if it was going to be like a Max release or if it was going to be on if it was going to be a theatrical release. I hope it's a theatrical release, especially since it's a fully 2D animated film. We need another 2D animated film back in the movie theaters. It's been too long. It's just been way too long. Sophia Pure, hello, welcome to the stream. I am gonna unfortunately be ending the stream very soon. But if you want to watch back any of the stream, you definitely can. It will be up very shortly after this stream ends. Kawaii Life Antonia says, hopefully Bye Bye Bunny gets the same treatment. Speaking of Bye Bye Bunny, I'm not even sure if that movie is still in development. And if it's still even happening. I don't know, right? Because we did get that scare when they mentioned like a lot of artists were cut off from that particular film. And then you had a couple of people who were working on it that said, yeah, we still, the movie is still in production, don't worry. Yeah, we hate that we lost those artists, but this film is still happening. We haven't heard anything from them recently. And so I don't know where the state of Bye Bye Bunny is. Considering that we have yet to really hear anything, things might be okay in that regard. I would have to hope so. But again, you just never know. you just never know, especially with this company, because like they could have just very easily said, yep, we're not doing Bye Bye Bunny. We're scrapping it for freaking tax purposes and whatnot, because that is what David Zaslav just loves to do until he gets caught out on it, like Coyote versus Acme, which was a good thing that happened, because the filmmakers were like, yeah, we're not gonna work with you anymore if you guys continue doing this. And he's like, okay, no, don't worry, guys. We actually aren't gonna write it off for tax purposes. We're gonna allow one of you guys to buy it, which should have been the first thing that you did, dumbass. But whatever. But yeah, I do hope that Bye Bye Bunny is still something that we do happen to get. It sounds like a very interesting premise, especially since it's supposed to be like a musical. And so it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. I would hope that it's a good one. You never know, but yeah. So that's kind of something we're just gonna have to see eventually when it gets down to it. Your mom says David is full of BO. Agreed. Like, fully agreed, man. Kawaii says, yeah, hopefully it will happen on an update for next year. Yeah, again, I hope so. Because if anything, like I'm for the most part just going to wait, right, until we hear something, whether it be from any of the creators that's working on Bugs Bunny, Bye Bye Bunny, or any of the artists that's working on it or anything. Until I hear them say like, "Oh yeah, we loved working on this project. It's a shame that no one's going to be able to see it." Blah 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 blah. Like because I don't know if they're gonna silently just like cancel the project, even though I'm sure it happens a couple of times. Who knows? But yeah, I really hope that it is still something that we can get in the long run. It would be great. You never know, but it would be great. Kawhi says David cares more about reality TV than animation. Yeah, I mean, because also when you take a look at, say, like what's leaving Max, a lot of it is like movies and television shows. But what's being and the thing is that like a lot of stuff that's not being taken off of Max is the reality stuff from Discovery. I hate the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery is so heavily skewed towards Discovery, which in my personal opinion makes no sense. Warner Brothers should be the one that's calling the shots everywhere. You know what I mean? I think they would have been able to handle this out way better than Discovery, but the fact that Discovery is kind of the one that's like, getting the better treatment out of the two is just ridiculous. It's incredibly stupid. You know what I mean? Like, people do not like reality TV that much. People are way more passionate about movies and television shows, not reality TV. Yes, a lot of us do tend to watch reality TV sometimes, but it doesn't last as long as, say, a movie. You can go and watch a movie over and over and over again, or a television show or an animated show over and over and over again. Even if it's like from 20 years ago, you can continue watching that. Who does that with reality shows? Like, seriously, who is going to, 30 years from now, who's going to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé? Who's going to do that? Nobody. Who's going to continue watching Catfish 20 years from now? Not saying that's a bad show, and it is a different company. It's not with, but you get what I'm saying. Who's going to continue watching that 30 years from now? No one. You know what I mean? So, like, and I get it. Reality TV is way cheaper to create than it is to do movies or a television show. So I get that. But at the same time, focus more on what people like, which is shows, animated shows, live action shows, and movies. You got to focus on that. That's where the real money is, okay? Come on. Let's not talk about Velma. Let's not talk about Velma. I want to erase that show from my memory. I couldn't watch more than 5 minutes of that stupid ass show. And yeah, let's not talk about Velma. Let's just not talk about Velma, please. Oh, I don't even want to get into it. Like, screw that goddamn show. It's horrible. Again, I couldn't watch more than 5 minutes. Could not watch more than 5 minutes. And the fact that it's getting a second season, okay. Absolutely not, bro. That is not a show that I'm going to be checking out at all. I'm only going to be watching reviews, and I am sure it's going to be way worse in the second season than it is in the first season. So, yeah. But no, that show it's dead to me. It is dead to me. Your mom says, I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking only reality television, but that shouldn't be an excuse to remove scripted shows from your service. Agreed. Because, again, what's going to last way longer is movies, television shows, and animated shows. Reality series is just absolutely not, So they kind of have to think about that. But we are talking about Hollywood here, and we're also talking about David Zaslav. They're dumb. Hollywood doesn't think, nor does David Zaslav. So I don't know what else to tell you in that regard. I think there was something that someone mentioned that I wanted to. No, I guess not. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to some final. Kawaii Life says, exactly, scripted content is what makes Warner Brothers very special. Yeah, because it requires effort, you know, requires that human touch to writing a script, coming up with the story, and, you know, getting some people who work on their craft in the acting world. Because trust me, acting is not the easiest thing as you may think it is. It could be, but sometimes, you know, you got to take a lot of classes, and you kind of have to have been acting for a very long time in order to have, like, you know, sometimes have it really down and whatnot. You know, reality series, no, you don't have to do that. so there's way more effort going into creating something for like animation or creating like a story for a television show or a movie. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just focus more on that instead of like reality shows. And again, people come back to those shows way more than a reality show. I don't know of any that people really continue to watch from like 10 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, maybe except for shows like, say, Kitchen Nightmares or Hell's Kitchen. Those are still kind of entertaining today. You know what I mean? Ozzy says, hey, did you hear that Bluey is getting a 28-minute special both on ABC Australia and Disney Plus on the same day? Yes, I did hear that. That's going to be very exciting. So, I'm definitely going to check that out. Like, that's going to be very interesting how they do a 28-minute episode. And they are going to, I think they're going to be taking a little bit of a break after that, as far as I'm concerned. So a season 4 is probably going to take a while to get here. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really wondering how this 28-minute special is going to be, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm going to be checking that out. Mashe, I guess, says, what is your favorite animated movie? My favorite animated movie is Finding Nemo. It's always been my number one favorite animated film. So and I think it's gonna stay up there, honestly. But yeah, that is my favorite animated movie. I freaking love that movie. So that's always my number one. Yeah, I was kind of singing that keepy uppy song. Yep, that's keepy uppy. Yeah, so it is almost about 7 o'clock right now, and I think I am going to get ready to end the stream. I am getting hungry, so I do need to eat. I am hearing and feeling my stomach growling. So, yeah. But yeah, this is actually, hold on. Kawaii Life Antonia says Cartoon Network Studios is still here. They just don't have the building to use it anymore. Yeah, I mean, remember, Cartoon Network Studios did move into the newer Warner Brothers studio building that is in Burbank. And so we haven't heard anything or seen anything from that, but yeah, they have moved into like the newer building that was recently finished. And so that's why they left. Excuse me. That's why they left the current building, which again is not a fault of Warner Brothers Discovery. That was in the workings for a long time. The building was already built before Warner Brothers Discovery was even merged, or it already started. Construction before the building, before the merger was ever created. So yeah, just wanted to remind you guys of that. But yes, again, I am going to be ending the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I'm glad that I was able to make this setup work with the camera and everything. It's great that I'm able to stream with this camera. And also, it's great that I don't have to rely on the computer's webcam. Because if I'm doing any sort of stream, I want to give you guys good quality, good quality stream, and also good quality videos as well. which is something that my phone was able to do, but I can do much better now with this particular camera as well. So yeah, so it's been absolutely fun. Hopefully I can come up with another video soon, but again, I can't necessarily make any promises. But we'll see what happens when it comes to this particular week. And maybe we do another live stream soon as well. Who knows at this point. Virginia Lace's Finding Nemo is both fantastic. Like Toy Story, love both. Agreed. I love both of those movies, but I still kind of have Finding Nemo, kind of at the top for me personally. I just really love that movie. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in this live stream. I hope every single one of you had a fun time with this live stream as well. It's always fun talking with you guys and, everything. So, yeah. But, whew, yeah, my stomach is definitely growling right now, so I really, really, really need to give me something to eat. But anyway, Kawaii Life, Zach History Notes, Your Mom, Mason, Aussie All, Skepter Wolf, Virginia Lake, Jordan, Jonathan, Randall, Zach History Notes, everybody that is still here currently as of right now. Thank you guys so much for joining in this stream, and I hope to see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend. And yeah, also don't forget to check out my live, not my live stream. Make sure to check out my vlog channel, which again is pinned currently right now in the chat. So click on that link. Also subscribe to it if you would like, and check out the previous video. I do plan on posting more vlogs over there as well, especially with this new beautiful camera. So yeah, so I hope you guys check that out. And I hope you guys enjoy some of the content that I'll post over there as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. Again, have a very, very good weekend, and hopefully I will see you guys next time. Remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. Peace out. Thank you so much for joining in. See you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody. Love you all.